Hey y'all, episode 5. We finally made it. The last episode. The title of the episode is Eye of the Beholder, because it belongs to you. That vision belongs to you. And I'm glad you made it this far. So episode 5, coming at you. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. I appreciate you guys on this journey. And now we've made it to episode 5, the final chapter. So I just want to say thank you again to all y'all. I like sending shots out to all y'all because people always send shots back to me and thank me for the things that I do. And it's always good to give love for people that's out there doing big things. Like my girl doing these videos. You know, I always give her love and appreciate all the editing and the things that she do. You know what I mean? But here we go. Let's get into what we do. And we started off with these affirmations, these things that get you rolling, baby, because now we're here. We're at the top. We're at the peak. First affirmation. I state your name. Am a visionary and can see what others can't. I state your name. Am a person who sees solutions while others see problems. I state your name. Am grounded in my beliefs and truth for success, but I never judge others for the differences. I state your name. Am a person who accepts challenges because there is no growth without uncomfort. Again, no growth without comfort. Man, this is exciting. It's an exciting time. For me, it's an exciting time for you. We're at the second half of this of 2020, and if you've been following these things, you should be feeling better about yourself and understanding your importance. But let's start it off and get back into what we know. You know, I like to start with these questions because I like that brain to think so that it can move forward, always forward, not looking back. We on the escalator right now. First question, where would you like to be in the next 3 years? Second question, do I honestly believe I have the answer to life's problems? Third question, how would things be different if my dreams and visions came true? Now think about those. Let those marinate and let those get deep up in there. And I told you again, I always say write it down because now this is the last episode, so there's no more after this. But you can always go back to the other videos and compare the steps and see the things that you have done to put you where you need to be, where God has called you to be. Okay, episode 1 was about vision without sight. But with that vision came episode 2 because you have to have patience for that vision. Episode 3, we went to failure and rejection because not everybody sees what you see and believe in what you believe. So episode 4, we had to overcome that. So when I was meditating, and again, you know I get most of this stuff at 3 in the morning, what came to me for episode 5 was advance. Because after you overcome something, you should advance forward. And that's why episode 5, we're going to talk about advance. Advance is defined in the dictionary as moving forward in a purposeful way. Now understand that, because you've gone through these stages that can stop you or can hinder your growth, but you've overcome all that, and now we advancing and moving forward. So I'm just saying, understand why we do this the way that it is. You know, my favorite saying is, how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time, because that's a lot. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is building your team with positive people. What I mean by that is you need people that are around you that are going to be positive towards your view and what God has given you to move forward. Now, that does not mean you build a team of yes men or yes women that everything you say and what you do is wrong, because guess what? You're not perfect, I'm not perfect, and even I keep my team questions into things I do. So it makes me think and I reflect. But that comes back to the importance of that mentor. You know what I mean? Because you should be getting the same information from that mentor when you build your team. So remember, build a team with positive people. Because you don't want no negative, you don't want weeds in your garden. You want your plants to flourish. You want that pretty flower, that pretty bush, that cultivate that pretty yard. You know what I mean? Next one I want to talk about is test and examine yourself. The reason why I say test and examine yourself is because when you go through stages, you need to see what you're learning from them stages, and are they good for you or are they not good for you? Can they help you move forward or are they making you go backwards? So it's always good to test and examine yourself when you get to certain points of your walk with this vision. The next thing I want to talk about is 1,000-yard stare. Now, I'm going to explain this to you because even my girl who does all this stuff asked me that question. Babe, what do you mean about 1,000-yard stare? Well, when you're running track, you're in your lane. You get in the blocks when you're ready to go because you know everybody's lined up, everybody's ready to go. You look down the lane to where the finish line is. And you keep your focus on the lane where the finish line is. Because when you have that 1,000-yard stare, you're already finished with the race. Now hear me again. When you have that 1,000-yard stare in your mind, you are already finished with that race. So you need to have a 1,000-yard stare now that you've gotten to this point and you understand that vision, you understand where you are, and you've been through all those steps. Keep that 1,000-yard stare because that will keep you from getting distracted from the foolishness of people that's trying to stop you from being who you are. You understand what I'm saying? The next thing I want to say is stay in your lane. Since I was talking about track, stay in your lane popped in my head. Now, if you know anything about track, when you're running a race in track, if you step into somebody else's lane, you are disqualified. So what I mean by stay in your lane is work on what is for you. Work on what is for your vision. Don't try and be doing what everybody else is doing. Do what you've been called to do because you may affect the world. You may not see that right now because you're looking with your eyes, but that vision is more powerful because it's coming from that soul and it's producing from you. Because remember, what you bring to the table, you can only bring to the table. So stay in your lane. Don't worry about the other people in the other 8 lanes. If you lane 1, stay in lane 1 and run your race with that 1,000-yard stare. The last thing I want to say is never. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what the odds may be in the favor of failing. If you know without a shadow of a doubt that this is what God has called you to do, never give up. Wow, you thought I was about to say something profound, huh? You thought I was about to blow your mind with something right now, huh? Caught you off guard right there. Because I'm keeping it simple. Never give up. Because check this out. The Bible that I read says that God will turn away from 99 people that are good to go save one. So even if your vision only saves one, that one may be the key to affect billions. So that's why you got to do your job and stay in your lane. You know what I mean? So hey, I'm excited because if you're following what I'm telling you to do, then you see the progression and you feel in yourself a little bit in understanding who you are, right? Because when you understand who you are, nobody can stop you. Because don't believe me, these videos and all this, people, they came, negativity came, but you know what I did? I laughed at it. I laughed at it because I know who I am and I never give up. All right, now you know how I like to roll, especially when it comes to these quotes. And I know the world likes to look at intellect and intellectuals and put them on these pedestals because they're supposed to know so much more than everybody else. Not true. So what I did is I pulled this quote from Albert Einstein because he's supposed to be the man when it comes to intellect. And I was thinking to myself like, wow, Albert Einstein, the reason why he was who he was, he knew who he was, and he didn't try to trample on other people to get to where he is because he thought he was better than them. And this is how I realized that in this quote. Albert Einstein says, everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Over the head, right? Over the head. Because you don't expect Albert Einstein to be the man to say something like that. You think he got an ego or something like that just because he's Albert Einstein. But I'm going to read what he said one more time. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. Now, if this doesn't tie into what we've been talking about from the beginning of how people around you, those weeds, telling you that your vision ain't good, that rejection, right? Your vision ain't good. Who do you think you are thinking that you can be successful? Or who are you thinking, man, get out of here with all that, man. He got it right. And that's why I wanted to put this quote out. And you know what I mean? Because it's more to this than what the world is showing us You know what I mean? It's like this. When I think about it, I think about the behind the scenes. When you sit in the theater and you watch the movie, you see the movie. But you don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that the people had to endure in order to make that the movie. Do you understand that? So what you're doing right now is doing the blood, sweat, and tears so that you can make the movie. You understand what I'm saying? It will come together in its time. Alright? So now, I like to show you the importance of knowing the stages of vision loss for correction. And the next phase 5 was reassessment and reaffirmations. That ties into what I said. Test yourself, never give up. That's all that streamlines to. Test yourself and never give up. Alright? So just stay focused on what is just, what is kind, what is of God and what is in you. Because everybody has something special in you. You know what I mean? We all got it. It's about knowing who you are and putting that out for the masses. You understand? Just like I said in the other video before, I personally work hard on these videos and these things, not for quantity, but quality. Because I want to give you what is truth, what can help you. You know, not a temporary thing like putting a Band-Aid on top of a sword. That's a temporary thing. All right. So hey, stay focused on that. But let me. I'm excited. So let me get you to what we always do with these challenges. So the last challenge was to put your board in action. The things that you have on your board in action. So I was thinking to myself, well, what would you need to do after you put that stuff in action? Because you know the stages that you want to go in and you know what you're doing. And I thought about it is, build yourself a dream team, a championship squad. Because you can't do anything by yourself. I'm understanding that. My girl's behind the camera right now, looking at the camera, making sure I'm lined up, making sure I'm doing, making sure I'm on point, making sure I'm looking good. She don't need help for that, but I'm gonna go back to what I'm saying. But making sure, because you need a dream team. If you know anything about sports, your team makes the champions, makes you the champion. Not by yourself, your team. Because we can even go to golf, right? I'm gonna give you golf, right? Golf has a caddy. He ain't by himself. He may be by himself, he out there hitting that ball, but he got a caddy that pulls out these clubs for him. Boxing got a trainer and he got people yelling under, making him work hard. He got a coach. You are not successful by yourself. And you know what? Even crazier to me is Jesus went out and grabbed 12. Hey, but that's a whole nother sermon. All right, man, let's do this. All right, so for my believers, you guys know that I like to have a scripture to align with what I'm talking about. And the one that came to me was Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, whatever your task may be, work from the soul that is put in your very best effort as something's done for the Lord and not for men. And that's what I've been trying to get to you. When you know who you are, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. When you know who you are, you don't need respect. You're a threat. But know who you are. Hey, man, that's it. That's all I got for you. But hey, you know what I like to do at the end? Like us on subscribe, YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can even email me. It's all OVERCOMINGBeliefs@gmail.com for the email. And all the other ones is just Overcoming Limited Belief. You know, reach out, talk to me, like us, hit the subscribe button on YouTube with the little bell. Do all that, man. Because you motivate me to do what I'm supposed to do to give back to you. All right? Because remember what I told you. Build a team. You're part of my team. So stay positive and be blessed.